I scoured the internet and found what you had to say. And now, I shall expose you. Hello beautiful people, I'm the Luschmaster. Welcome to my channel. Oh yeah, of course. Subscribe. This is everything you had to say about Kelly Kapoor from The Office. I adored her. I wish she got more screen time. I love how Kelly started off as this shy in the background, slightly annoying girl and then turned into a sassy, confident and hilarious character. As an Indian, I'm really proud of Kelly Kapoor because in every other series or movies, they show us as dorky nerds. Her delivery is just perfect. What a phenomenal actor. Her expression after what inmates would say about her gets me each time. It's great to have minority actors who aren't just pandered and put on a pedestal of competency. She has the full range of experiences from lovable to toxic, like the white characters. Minorities can be pricks too. No doubt thanks to Mindy Kaling's actual involvement in the writing process. Kelly is a walking cluster of a nightmare, but I stan her. If Kelly wasn't on the show, we wouldn't have had a good amount of The Office. Mindy Kaling wrote a significant number of the episodes, more than anyone else on the cast if I remember correctly. Kelly is such a great character, an absolute icon. At first I thought Kelly was kind of annoying, but as I looked back I realized just how amazing she is and how much she brought to the show. Honestly, retroactively, one of my favorites. Kelly's in my top 5 characters. She's like a middle school girl who never really grew up. She's insufferable, adorable, quick-witted, bubbly, and a hot mess all at the same time. Her burns have no equal. My guilty pleasure is that I actually like Kelly. She's awful, but she's kind of cute and funny. Kelly has always been in my top 5 favorite characters from the show. Everything she says kills me. I never realized how much of Kelly I quote daily. I don't know how you feel about her. I'm an Indian and it's a bit more weird to see Indian origin people in other movies. Usually watch my own country movies, but this show is epic and I don't know why I'm hysterical about her. It's a very different feeling. Watching this video has made my day bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. Yes, Jim, but I'm not easy to manage. You guys, I'm like really smart now. You don't even know. You could ask me, Kelly, what's the biggest company in the world? And I'd be like, blah, 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 giving you the exact right answer. That's my favorite line in the show. How about that moment when she convinced Pam she looks good in her glasses and then says, guess who just became the prettiest girl in the office? Whew, this is exactly what they're thinking. Literally, Kelly. Ryan used me as an object. Great line in TV history. Period. I talk a lot, so I've learned to just tune myself out. Yeah, I have a lot of questions. Number 1, how dare you? This is my favorite Kelly quote. I have a sticker of it on a notebook and it brings me so much joy. I know, but there was an emergency. I look really good in white. I can't even name any CEOs, Indian or any race. Jessica, did you just fart? And that's how it's done. If I'm at a website with so many problems, I would kill myself. Ravi treats me so well, and Ryan just puts me through so much drama. I just have to figure out which one of those things I value more. When they were talking to Jan about sports references during the female in the workplace meeting, what about second base? Like, if Michael said he got to second base with you, does that mean like he closed the deal? And she winks at the camera. I am not going to be one of those women schlepping her kids around in a minivan. I want an SUV with 3 rows of seats. Kelly is pure gold. I really never thought about death until Princess Diana died. That was the saddest funeral ever. That and my sister's. I don't talk trash, I talk smack. I guess people have fewer choices as they get older. Cold-blooded. I can't listen to Jim couldn't hit a ping pong ball even if it was the size of the moon without wondering why she didn't say the size of your mama. Hey, you, I don't like your boyfriend, cause he sucks at ping pong. I'm just going to say, her response to Danny Cordray's arrival to the office. Enough said. Daryl really is perfect for her. He calms her down and teaches her things about herself. Stupid Ryan. I feel bad for Kelly. She's so used to toxic relationships that when Daryl came along and was communicating and being mostly non-toxic, she was confused. The forehead kiss after Kelly explains Netflix to Ryan is the cutest thing ever. I love how Daryl, of all people, is the one who can control her craziness. I really like the Daryl Kelly relationship, however short it was. The way he shut her down quickly when she was running off the deep end is priceless. He's the only person in the show that was able to tame her for 5 minutes. But since Kelly's pretty much a joke character, they couldn't have her seriously date Daryl because it would have forced her to grow, which wasn't really the intention of the character. That sucks. Kelly is a fantastic character. Hers and Ryan's relationship is unreal. Honestly, I love her and Daryl's interaction at the end. Part of me wishes we saw more of them together. It'd be interesting to watch them average each other out. Those people, if they start going off on you and you tell them to slow down and think it over and walk away, they'd only get more pissed. Daryl found Kelly's uncrazy side. Maybe she could find his passionate and enthusiastic side. Jim and Kelly have brother and sister vibes. Kelly's the goofy younger sister trying to get advice from older brother Jim. Am I the only one who really thinks Kelly and Ryan are soulmates? I feel like Gina Linetti and Kelly Kapoor would either be very close friends or absolute enemies. I had completely forgotten that it was Jim who got the ball rolling in the Kelly Ryan saga, like Dr. Frankenstein. He didn't know what evil he had created. Kelly and Jim's whole dynamic is so underrated. Happy February 13th to everyone, and happy anniversary of the most iconic and chaotic situationship. I really like Pam and Kelly's relationship in the first 3 seasons, and I don't really understand why the writers would take it away. The only other time Pam and Kelly interact is when Pam sets up the pediatrician with Kelly. So I'm watching The Office for the first time. I'm still on season 5. And I'm really confused about Ryan and Kelly's relationship. In the beginning, Ryan is interested in her, but when they hook up, he suddenly doesn't like her. And then when Kelly's with Daryl, Ryan is jealous, but when they break up, he's really awkward again. What's the point of this? Am I missing something? Her telling Ryan she was pregnant, immediately shaking her head at the camera and the overjoyed, "We have a date!" is an all-time moment for Kelly. It's so terrible of her, but I can't help but cackle every time I see her do the smirk and shake her head. For me, it's when she states she was raped when Dwight, Jim, and Michael ask why she gave them bad reviews. Not again is what really sealed the deal on how awful Kelly is. She's used that excuse before, and it's crazy, claiming rape because she tried to ruin the lives of 2 people who didn't come to a TV watch party. It doesn't get worse. And getting called out by Michael, that's the point you realize you really crossed the line. The time she cyberbullied a teenager, with the help of Ryan, of course, because she was rude to her at the mall, deserves a special mention. Her line, "I will do anything for attention," sums it up. When she won't go to Pam and Jim's wedding unless Ryan goes. This girl was really rude to me at the mall, so I created a fake IM account from a hot guy at a school, and now I'm trying to make her anorexic. Kind of not up for debate. Faking a pregnancy. As someone who had that happen, there's a special place in hell. You gave your son an allergic reaction to talk to me? Running over with Ryan at Dwight and Angela's wedding takes the cake in my honest opinion. How hasn't anybody commented on her trying to force Daryl to choose between her and his daughter yet? Good grief. Kit is just the worst in such a perfectly written way. Mindy outdid herself on her writing and performance. Kelly knows exactly how to wreck someone, whether it's Jan, Pam, Michael, or even her love, Ryan. Her interactions with Ryan are great. They're so toxic. Like a poison dart frog, Kelly is both adorable and capable of causing deep internal anguish. Kelly is what I would never want my kids to be. Words can't even begin to describe how much of a disappointment she is in my eyes. That's deep. Kelly acts like an idiot, But she's actually really quick thinking and clever. She closed Andy's deal pretty much single-handedly. I love how Kelly kind of just tricks Jim into being a best friend. When Pam left for college, honeymoon, and maternity leave, I didn't notice it. But when Kelly left the show, it was really quiet. Like, it changed the atmosphere. Kelly made Angela smile, and that is one of the best things in The Office. Jim and Kelly is one of the most underrated friendships on the show. Kelly hands down has the best costumes on the show. Like, every outfit is fire. I love literally all the interactions between Jim and Kelly. Probably my favorite friendship duo. It's so funny. She would be queen of TikTok nowadays. Can we just appreciate Jim and Kelly's friendship though? I always loved how sweet Jim was listening to Kelly. She's the dumb blonde of Indians. We all know that if Kelly was with us in 2023, she'd be the first one gossiping about Velma. After seeing Velma, I can never see her the same again. I will never understand how someone can hate Kelly. My goodness, Kelly is actually such a realistic persona. I had a coworker just like her. They even look alike. I'm a boring guy, so I'd love to have a friend as talkative as Kelly. Mindy couldn't have done a better job on playing Kelly. The face she did shaking her head to the camera after telling Ryan she was pregnant. Chef's kiss. Guys, it's okay to enjoy Kelly content without talking about Scooby-Doo. When Kelly thinks you're too dramatic, it's time to reevaluate your life. It seems like I'm in the minority here, but I can't stand Kelly. That's the point, I know, but it's still hard to watch some of her scenes because of how irritating she is. I like when she's dancing in the minivan when Michael takes all the women to the mall. You can see her just a little bit to the side dancing when his phone rings, and it's just so funny to me. I have a weird feeling that Kelly is actually a genius. I think one of the most unrealistic things about this show is that Kelly never actually got pregnant. She talks about how badly she wants a baby and how cute babies are. She's a huge drama queen and faked being pregnant multiple times. Forgets to take a birth control and try to force Ryan to commit to her by lying and saying she was having his baby. And Ryan had a baby after they dated, meaning he wasn't always super cautious. Imagine a sitcom starring both Kelly Kapoor and Tom Haverford. Kelly and Ryan struck me as great actors who were forced to work together in a strained relationship. The fact that they were writers and created that relationship makes it so much better. It's 2023, and I bet Kelly still hasn't accessed her uncrazy side. So, as we know, Kelly started out very straight-laced and slowly through season 2 evolved into the silly ditz we love. Here's my theory. From later seasons, we found out she spent time in juvie as a teenager and she had parents who wanted her to marry a nice Indian boy. Here is where my theory begins. After her release from juvie, we presume she tried to be more traditional and went to school to fulfill her parents' expectations and mitigate some of the damage she caused them with her incarceration. So she goes to school and gets a normal job at Dundee and tries to lead a normal life. Once Ryan comes into the picture, she is instantly taken by him and begins to devolve back into the silly girl who stole her boyfriend's dad's boat. Through the years and her obsession with Ryan, she goes back to those teenage years and who she was, because really, if you don't get the chance to act juvenile when you are young and you're missing out on an essential area of growth and learning, you do it again. So again, we see her not being too extreme, but still fun-loving in later seasons, possibly to fulfill her parents' expectations for societal normalcy. This leads up to her engagement to Ravi and starting a new typical life as the wife of a doctor. All good. Until Ryan comes back and sweeps her away in a wave of nostalgia and teenage carefree way of life. So no, her and Ryan won't last because of Ryan's delinquent ways, commitment issues, and degenerate behavior. She sees in Ryan everything she wants for herself, but ultimately even he is too extreme in his narcissism to be a suitable partner. Seriously, this guy gave up his baby to strangers. Not exactly a stable or trustworthy person. Ultimately, she ends up back at Dundee Mifflin in some capacity, looking for love and normalcy again. Here's a theory. In Diwali, maybe Kelly was trying to set Pam up with the doctor guy. I always felt like it was weird that the guy Kelly's parents try to set her up with ends up dancing with Pam and has one random line. Because I can't tell what his significance is or if they're flirting or not. I think since Kelly wasn't interested, maybe she set Pam up with him or something and it just wasn't shown. That's my theory. And it sounds really uninteresting now that I wrote it out, so maybe never mind. Kelly's minority executive training program theory. We all know how Kelly is, seeming to be sort of unaware all series. Obviously, she attended Yale for a short period of time for classes in training. In season 7, when she calls one of her professors for Andy's business meeting, he says, "Kelly Kapoor, what a pleasant surprise." I haven't really put 2 and 2 together until now, but it seems to me that she may have slept around to make her way through the program. This may have been clear as day to some of you, but it's an interesting tidbit I just noticed tonight while watching. Let me know what you think. A theory about Kelly and Ryan and the drugs. I was rewatching the Sabre Store launch episode last night, and when Ryan starts freaking out, he says the first thing he needs is Kelly there. Later in the episode, he calls his uncle for a Ritalin prescription. He relies on both these things to get through his life. Now, knowing Ryan's history of drug addiction and Kelly's track record of lying, manipulating, doing whatever to get people to like her, I think Kelly got a drug prescription by lying to a doctor because she wanted Ryan to like her and gives him the drugs. She feigned having ADHD or something like that to get a script and then used the drug to lure Ryan in and thus make him fall in love and rely on her. She purposefully associated herself with drugs in his mind, so he would literally salivate over her. As for the drugs, I would assume it would be Adderall or Ritalin, based off of Ryan's phone call and his liking of uppers. Always drinking Red Bull, loves his blow, is always excited and doing stuff. He develops a strong liking for Kelly over the years and relies on her as if she were a drug, and the relationship is crazy and compulsive, also like drug users. Kelly has lied about being pregnant to him and done some other ludicrous stuff to keep him. So lying to a doctor for a prescription and supplying an addict with drugs are things that are well within a sphere of actions. I could write some more on this, but I'm at work. Would love to hear some feedback though. Fan theory. Why Kelly Kapoor is different in season 1, early season 2. Fans watching the early episodes of The Office will notice that it takes a while for the character Kelly Kapoor to develop. I have a theory why this is, and it still follows the show. In a talking head in season 2 during the episode Michael's birthday, Kelly reveals that the saddest funeral she ever watched was Princess Diana's, next to her sister. My theory is her sister passed away just before the documentary crew arrives, and when they start filming, Kelly feels she should ditch her bubbly personality for a more button-up, serious personality like her sister. Her parents always wanted her to take a job and her life more serious, so not wanting to disappoint them and make them proud, this is the Kelly you see in the show. Finally, slowly she develops a crush on Ryan and she wants Ryan to know the real her. He started as a temp, so he never really met the real Kelly. So she starts to dress more fun and lets her hair down. When she starts dating Ryan, this is when we finally 100% meet the real Kelly Kapoor. Kelly is actually perfect for customer service. She doesn't internalize criticism, she's enthusiastic talking to strangers and can talk for hours without getting worn out. Kelly was an outstanding character with special characteristics, speaking her mind in such a brutally honest and fun way. Very good performance. Mindy Kaling, who also plays Kelly, wrote the most episodes of The Office of any writers on the show. She's incredibly smart and funny. Some of the episodes she wrote were the ones like The Injury from season 2, when Michael wakes up in the morning and accidentally burns his foot on his George Foreman grill, which is on because he has to wake up to the smell of bacon cooking. A character may be superficial and vapid, but Mindy herself is not. I think people tend to confuse Mindy and Kelly together and they think they're one and the same. Mindy is a really talented comedic writer. Mindy Kaling is amazing. Kelly may be annoying, but only because Mindy is so on point with the character. I was thinking today how all the characters say that their customer service is what sets them apart. I guess Kelly really is good at a job. I wish they brought this up more. Customer service in my experience is 90% about having a human on the other side, and Kelly is very human as opposed to, say, Dwight. I did think of the episode where Dwight and Jim teamed up on a sales call and Jim calls customer service. Kelly answers within like 3 seconds, and even before she knows it's Jim, she's enthusiastic and friendly. And then she goes nuts once she knows that it's Jim and he hangs up on her. And still, what company can you get that from nowadays? Or even those are days. She was great at her job. Except when she falsified documents out of spite over Jim and Dwight failing to attend her America's Got Talent finale party. When they showed her doing her job, she was quite good at it. She's very chatty and genuine, and the line connects directly to her, which, as years go on, sounds better and better. It's funny how Ryan and Kelly started out quite shy and normal, but they ended up being the two most dramatic characters on the show. It's funny to hear her rant and explain Netflix because it's so different now. Life before streaming. I love how shows can be little time capsules of their own time. People who are complaining about Kelly being annoying, that's the whole point of her character. Practically every moment from Kelly is both shady and hilarious. Still partial to the "I'm pregnant" comment to Ryan and the immediate head shake no at the end to the camera. Toby listening to their whole exchange was just the icing on the cake. I love that Ryan is intimidated by black men so much. Kelly's always triggering him with that. What were some of your favorite Kelly Kapoor moments from The Office? Let me know in the comments and I'll see you again next time. Tra-la-la.